probably just gonna ban cast it. $22. Okay. Hey, what's up, Faint? Why, dude? Oh, man. Dude, this meta's gonna tilt me so much because everyone's playing Ezreal now. Like, why is everyone playing Ezreal? He got an... I guess he got an inconsequential buff like 3 or 4 patches ago. Like, what's the story? Is everyone playing him in pro? I'm probably just gonna dodge this.
This'll be a slaughter.
Yeah, with Kha'Zix too. I don't know. Like, this guy's okay on Kha'Zix. Like, Kha'Zix is so risky. I don't know. I mean, this guy has Smurf-like numbers. I get baited into this all the time. Where it's like, oh man, that guy looks good on Ezreal, and then it just doesn't happen that way. Does this guy play? He does play Tryndamere. This guy's not that great on Silas. We're gonna get outscaled. We can't pressure Yuumi, Misfortune. Nos is gonna outscale Tryndamere. I think I just dodge it. I don't like it. They have okay win rates, but hey, what's up, Mitch? It was just too risky, I think. It sucks because, like, we did have good win rates, but the champs were just... It was just rough. Like, actually, what's the story with Ezreal? Is he getting played all the time in pro? Again or something? I mean, Senna's getting played more, and Senna's actually, I think, the best AD carry right now. Okay, he's pretty far down the list. Oh, well, I guess what? 1, 2. He's the third most popular AD carry with a 33% win rate in pro right now. I mean, who's pushing this narrative? Is Ezreal an F? Oh, he's down here. Okay, so tierlist.gg, whatever that is, has him in C tier. Like, I'm genuinely curious why people are picking this champion right now. All this, because he's been around for a while. I know he's like interesting to play, but like, why is he 30% right now? Lolalytics has him as C tier also. Is there something I forgot about? I mean, hold on. I know there was like a very small buff to him like 3 or 4 patches ago. But he lost Klepto. I mean, that was one of the most fun things about him was Klepto. Right? Like, he lost one of the most fun things, and one of the most powerful things about him was Klepto. On patch 10.3... he gets a little bit more mana and attack speed growth. On 9.24, he did get an AD ratio boost, but I mean, it's like, it's just been these couple of patches. I know they nerfed like Aphelios and Senna a little bit, so maybe people think you can't play him anymore. I don't know who's pushing the narrative though. Is Mobalytics pushing it? Like, which all caps group is saying that people should play Ezreal? Because it has to be somebody, right? Like, he's not that popular in pro right now. He has a low win rate. Oh, Mobalytics doesn't have him up there. They have Vayne in the God tier. Which is bad enough, but at least they don't have Ezreal in there. They've got him tier 2. Which is still crazy, but like everyone, like everybody, all pro commentators, all of these tier lists are gonna have like Senna and Misfortune up there. Misfortune's kind of fallen out of pro, but Senna, like, she's the most popular in pro. She's fun, I think. All of the tier lists have her as top tier. She is actually top tier. So why don't people pick her? I don't understand. I know, but people weren't playing him that much before. I mean, right? I mean, he's always like 20%, but he's jumped up to 30. He's like in literally every game, it feels like. Yeah, look at this. He jumped from a 10% win rate at the start of January. After they nerfed Klepto, he literally went up a 20% pick rate. He went from 10% to 30%. What is it? Like, who's pushing this narrative? Like, I don't understand. Like, he's not good in the meta. He's not good in pro. Most tier lists are not recommending him tier 1. Like, no item changes have benefited him. No meta change that benefited him. He's way worse against tanks. Like, he's way better against assassins than he is tanks. I mean, I know, but, like, that could happen all the time, Dimash. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of what Scott and Dimash are saying. Like, y'all are right that, like, you know, he always has this thing about him where people like him because they think he's safe, but there has to be something very specific to triple his pick rate. His win rate's not good. Like, it's about the same as it always is. I just don't understand, like, why right now.
Let's dance.
Yeah, I mean, because I can't cover every champion, Dimash. You know, my tier list is already usually like an hour long, and I don't even get to cover the last 5 most of the times. That's why I don't put it on there, because I'm not going to talk about it. If it's below the top 15, in my mind, it's probably not worth talking about. I mean, I don't know. There are some, you know, some champions on there that could be worth talking about or are interesting, but, you know, it's something that I'm not going to recommend for most people if it's below the top 15. So the goal is not to cover every possible support you could. Maybe that's it, Black. Oh no, it's not going to let me scout this game. So it's not to cover every possible support in the game, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I looked at that as far as pro goes. He has played some with a 33% win rate on the last patch, but like Senna and Aphelios are still the most played. And they're both way better. Misfortune has actually played even more. She just isn't banned as much. So there's Misfortune, Aphelios, and Senna are all better than Ezreal by a mile. And they're both played way more and have higher win rates in pro. And that's just this most recent patch. If we look at all season in pro, he's just way out of the meta. Okay, that's fine. They have a mix of stuff. We maybe could have gone for Revitalize, but... Are you overlooking Bard on your tier list? I don't think so. Don't I have him like tier 2? Hey, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. Is he the Lux of ADCs? Sort of. Overrated, popular, I guess, but he's, you know, plays out very differently. I don't have my support tier list directly in front of me, but I'm pretty sure I had Bard in the top 10. Bard got nerfed pretty hard on this patch. I mean, I may have knocked him totally off. Let me see. No, I have him top 10. I think that's still pretty generous. I mean, I think he got hit pretty hard on this patch in my mind. He's really hard to play. Like, he's very situational. In my mind, he's a really risky pick. Well, Aphelios has been nerfed a lot, Jolie.
What was I supposed to do?
I mean, Yumi's most recent stuff were really changes. They increased her win rate, at least in solo queue, by quite a significant amount, like 4%. So the last round of stuff were changes.
And that's why I love it.
More so than like straight nerfs. And Aphelios has been nerfed by at least 10 times since release, probably closer to 20 times. No, not... The problem is not that Alistar's not, like, okay in the abstract. It's just that other champions do what he's trying to do even better. I talked about Alistar, I think, a decent amount on something. I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been in the support tier list. I talked about Alistar. No, in the patch notes. Go check out my patch notes video for this patch where they buffed him, and I talked about why it's not going to matter that much. I talk about him for 10 or 15 minutes, but The gist of it basically is that his unique identity, other people have it now. Like, he used to be, you know, unkillable with his ult, and that was special, but now everybody's unkillable if you're a tank support and you take Aftershock and go for Gargoyle Stoneplate. And just everyone else has more CC than he does, and just has more utility than he does. So, he's just not really unique. There's just not a reason to play him over someone like Nautilus or Leona if you want, like, the hard all-in champs. That's what I think. I would max W most of the time on Rakan. It's damage, so you have a better chance for all-ins. It's your mobility, so you can rotate around the map faster. It's your CC. It's wave clear if you need to push to get a back timing or something. There's just a lot of reasons to go W. E is better if you know you're going to go Ardent Sensor or a lot of plus healing and shielding. You could go E, so if you're duoed with an AD carry you can trust that you know is going to snowball really hard. You know, you could go for E. Or like maybe at higher elo brackets they go for E a little bit more. Like, it offers better protection but doesn't offer as much all-in or CC or mobility. Why aren't we pushing in? Let's push in, man. Yeah. That's a reconnect. What's up, Prophet? Dude. Yes, he has. He's been nerfed a lot, Jolty. He's got like a 47% win rate in solo queue right now. I think Yuumi might actually literally have a better win rate than he does in solo queue. Not 100% about that. Probably not. Yuumi probably has a little bit lower. He's at 49.5. So it's not that extreme. But it's damn close. I mean, they're both at 49. He's like 0.5% higher win rate than she is, but he's been nerfed a ton. I mean, I do think he's still good. I also think Yumi's probably better than you would like to give her credit for. Okay, so what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He has been nerfed 20 times since release. I mean, I understand Yumi's been nerfed too, but I think those last round of Yuumi nerfs were like changes though. I think there were some things that made her better. I mean, her win rate went up. So I'm not saying he's bad. I think he is good, but I think it's a little disingenuous to say that Riot hasn't nerfed him, and they definitely have, and he deserved it. But I don't know if I have to back out and look at the historical here. I mean, I talked about this in the tier list video, and I think I've talked about it on stream too. But the Yuumi stuff, like, Yumi's actually at her highest win rate of all time right now, like, literally the highest. Even before she was considered really OP and 100% pick banned, like, every time in pro and even in solo queue. I mean, her ban rate in solo queue was 45%. And she has a higher win rate now than she had then, when she was banned that much. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, she's been nerfed, but has she? You know, like, statistically, I know you're a big fan of statistics. Statistically, you know, she's higher. Since December, you know, she's up like 10%. So, I think she's definitely playable. I'm just gonna ban Senna.
Fine. I don't need more enemies.
Let's see. I mean, ban rate matters to an extent. I understand. Like, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying that there's not as much of a gap, like a chasm, in like between the amount of nerfs they've given Yuumi and the amount of nerfs they've given Aphelios. That's what the original discussion was. Are they ignoring Aphelios and nerfing Yuumi too much? Like, that's how I interpreted your initial statement. And I don't think that's true. I think if anything, you know, the best interpretation of that is they have nerfed them both a lot. But, you know, a more realistic interpretation is the last round of things that people thought were nerfs to Yuumi's were actually buffs for solo queue. And, I mean, the same thing was true with Rakan. Everyone thought Rakan was dead when they put a delay on his R, where you couldn't RW immediately, but it ended up giving him, like, 3% in solo queue. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, ban rate can be indicative. It depends on the elo bracket, but ban rate can be indicative of strength. It can also be just indicative of people don't like playing against the champion. You know, like Yasuo gets banned all the time, for example, but I don't really think he's super OP. That's right, Tom Brokar. I don't understand what his kid does. Hey, what's up, Eric? But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm agreeing with most of what you're saying. I just don't think it's like that Riot is showing favor to Aphelios over Yuumi. But I agree that they are both potentially really strong right now. I mean, I have them both tier 1 in their respective tier lists, so in the top 5 for both. Yuumi, just to get back to what Demotions is saying, I don't think Yuumi is like as reliant on a strong AD carry as people think she is. Like, it's nice, but really what makes her strong in the mid to late game is if you have like a bruiser or a tank type of thing that needs stickiness. And there's a lot of those that are really strong. So like Darius, Set. Why? Dude, everyone feels like you have to play Xayah with Rakan. You don't, man. It's fine. His Misfortune's fine. He has no games on Xayah. He's 0-3. Misfortune's his most played, like, bro. Okay, it's fine though, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's what really makes Yuumi. I mean, that's why I like the Yuumi Garen thing at Worlds was being played some. It's like, you know, you really want to put her on things like Garen, Darius, Set, Ornn, Zac. That's where she really starts to shine in the mid to late game. Now, early on, yes, it does suck if your AD carry's bad, but you can, you know, put out some poke and keep them alive sometimes with healing. So I don't think she's as reliant on a good AD carry as like a Janna. Because Janna doesn't have any, like, way to help people engage or initiate, where Yuumi has 2 ways. She has her speed up, and she has her ult. And Janna just gives, like, flat AD on her shield. So Janna's really kind of the most all-in on your AD carry being okay and competent. Yeah, I mean, Xayah is not in an amazing spot right now. People just, I mean, in pro with Rakan, she is. But in solo queue, I think she's the highest win rate ADC right now, or close to it. But she's almost always paired with Rakan, and that's because pro players leverage their really strong level 1 and level 2 to bully people, whereas amateur Xayahs aren't gonna, like, know the limits of the champion, and they aren't going to level 1 with you most of the time, or level 2. Yeah, Yuumi plus invisible stuff is good too. Eve, Shaco, Twitch. All of that's pretty gross. Yuumi has a lot of really good combinations with her.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
She's a pain in the ass to go against, honestly. Like, I think she's in the conversation for best enchanter right now. I mean, you know, Janna and Nami are gonna have the higher win rates, but they're a lot easier to play than she is.
Everyone is depending on
Yumi's deceptively difficult to play. I don't think Garen in lane, in bot lane, I don't see it that much. Honestly, it could be okay into some matchups. But yeah, later in the game, you know, because you can go on whoever you want later on with Yuumi. You're not married to your AD carry. People play Swain as support. It's not that he fell off, it's just that people realize he's not as good as they think. Like, he's an okay lane bully, but his items are just too expensive and he just doesn't do enough later in my mind. If he gets ahead early, though, he can be good. But I just think he's too risky. Would you say Janna Draven's less opt? It depends on the matchup, but...
Do you love me because I'm beautiful or because I'm sexy?
Draven is one of the people who would actually like Janna the most as an AD carry because he scales so hard off of raw AD. Because his Q gives him basically double value on AD if he's catching his spinning axes properly. So it depends on their comp, but potentially. Depends on how good the Draven is. If the Draven's extremely good, then the Janna's probably better. If the Draven's not that good, then Yuumi's probably better. Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. As with most AP champions, Swain has a hard time scaling. Sometimes people don't understand that. They ask me in the comments, oh, Zyra scales so well, Brand scales so well. It's like, no, they don't. Not in terms of like how much it costs to get their items. Their items are very expensive. You know, when you're having to buy 3,000 gold items and the enemy support can buy like 2,000 gold items. Then you're gonna fall behind. And like, they're not like super cost efficient. So yeah, I mean, if everybody in the game is handed like 10,000 gold, yes, AP supports would be great. But the problem is, especially if you're behind, it's very difficult to buy items, and you have really weird back timings that suck. You know, when you're waiting on a blasting wand, but you have to back with 600 gold to get more wards, it just feels terrible. So that, I mean, that's, Swain is sort of a victim of that as well. They're gonna, is he dead? Oh, you're trying to fight Lee over a crab, level 2 as Zac, or level 3 as Zac, when you don't have priority bot lane, or mid lane. I'm surprised that didn't work out.
Are you having fun over there? I can't hear you over all the fun of this.
I mean, if you want to donate 10, I'll do a Syndra support game. I can do it on my Smurf. Or I can do a normal game.
You will be the death of me.
I'm fine with that.
Me too.
I mean, I've played Syndra's ADC. She's okay, but just like I just described with AP champs, you know, if you're not absolutely slaughtering them, it can get a little rough. We're gonna get zoned. It sucks.
Thanks, babe. Okay. Thank you, honey.
Is Lee here? I don't have any cooldowns. I can't go check the bush till I get my W back.
What's after this?
Yeah, see, this is why I don't want her. This is a waste of playing Xayah. Like, you're supposed to be like super aggressive early on, but she has no clue like what the limits are on her champ, so she's playing like really scared. No, don't come back in. She just has no clue what her champ does, basically. She should have just played Misfortune.
Xayah told me to improvise. At least, that's the only part of the plan I remember.
An ally has been slain.
Syndra's pretty hard to play to begin with, and she's pretty far out of the meta. She doesn't have great items right now. She was someone who was really using Storm Razor and Essence Reaper, and both of those have been nerfed.
If you need me, whistle. You know how to whistle, don't you?
Hubba hubba.
No, that's not whistling.
I think it was worth playing, though. It would have been a 10-point dodge. And everyone except for Xayah is playing on one of their stronger champs. Or at least a champ they have experience on.
Hey, Zaya,
Yeah?
you sexy.
Watch out!
Something here.
I should totally get paid for this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She went triple Dorans when she's playing like she's Janna? Why would you do that? You're doubling down on being behind. Like, the only reason you should ever go Dorans
Last time
is if you are absolutely crushing them.
What was?
good answer.
And you really want to leverage a huge advantage in the early game.
Thanks, babe.
Do I just ban Xayah and pick Rakan? So people stop trying to play her? I don't know why people just can't play good champs. She's like 60% misfortune over 70 games.
You're gonna marry me today?
Be safe.
What would you do if I died?
I would.
Didn't he
find a
just get
swirl
stopped
of
by
ground,
something?
Build a castle from the ashes.
Or he stopped himself.
I need to know when the action's coming.
Why did we stop? What's going on?
I hate having a house plan.
Like, actually, why? Okay, well, I guess he's just gonna give us a free kill anyway, so. Okay. I don't know where Lee. I thought he was maybe baiting for Lee, like Lee was gonna come out of the tri-bush or something. Alright, maybe there's hope. She didn't get any kills, and she put herself so far behind with those Dorans. Hey, thanks, Nightcore. I appreciate it. Probably just do Mercs, I guess. It's kind of weird.
I
don't know. They have a good split of damage on their team.
I got a cause I die for. That's who.
Yeah, thanks, Takashi. Oh, Fiddle support. Fiddle's kind of off and on. Riot does not like it with Fiddle's sort of mainstream support.
I'm going rogue.
The Anivia is kind of an issue, and you get CC reduction off of Mercs. I don't know. Maybe Tabbies would have been better. Tabbies are probably better for lane, but Mercs will probably be better later in the game.
Heads up.
We do have a good comp for later.
What's going on?
Lee's on the top side.
I'm a coming.
We're still down 20 CS, and the Zac has spent so much time in the bottom lane. Which is good, but like we're just not using those resources very well, because Lee just counter jungled his whole top side.
Trying something new. You like it?
No. No, I do not.
Since we know Lee's up there, I'm just gonna go ahead and ward all this.
I don't see him.
What's happening?
See how terrible that control ward is? You guys see? It doesn't see that ward over there, so now I'm gonna have to use an extra one because this guy doesn't know how to place a ward. You always put it directly in front of the mouth of the objective in order to get the full coverage.
Plating will fall soon.
Unless it's like a water dragon or something and it puts those extra bushes in the back of the pit, then you gotta make some choices, but...
Your turret has
It's
been
not gonna detect... You can't detect those kinds of bots. It's extremely difficult to detect them. Because it's just a person who comes in and just repeats what someone else said. Like, that's it. And they just have a name that says click on me or something. Like, sometimes it doesn't even say that. I'm not even sure if it's possible. And if it, was possible, it'd probably be really expensive. Like, you just ban them. I didn't have my W because I used my W over the wall, but we got him to blow a bunch of stuff. And they're about to take our base towers. If I just had my W there, or if Xayah actually used her ult or any of her abilities, we probably would have won that pretty cleanly. So god-awful.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Like she had her ult. Did she use her E to wave clear under tower or something? I don't understand.
If I panic, what would you do?
I would never be whole again.
I mean, I used my W to get over the wall. Like, I wanted to engage on him out of the bush, but she didn't step up. And then I used it over the wall, and she doesn't understand that abilities have cooldowns. I mean, she just has no clue what's going on, like, with this combination of champions. Which makes sense, because she's, like, 0-3 on Xayah. Like, she never plays that champ, but she just forced it for some reason.
Unstoppable.
She did use her E? Was her ult on cooldown? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. Because I suspect she did not do a lot of things that she could have done there. I'm extremely skeptical. She did everything she could in that fight. Got a flash? Oh, if he flash, eat that. You don't have. He doesn't have flash.
Has been destroyed.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. If she used her E right in front of me, then I should have paid attention to that. She still had her ult there, right? Depends on what she's leveling to. She should be leveling probably her E. Some people level W, some people level E. I think E is bigger burst damage, though.
Did you say something?
I'm not sure, honestly, after a lot of the changes, if you're supposed to level your W or your E first.
I need to see. People can see how awesome I
An ally
am.
has been slain.
No, don't go that way. Alright, this is pretty much done. I think you should be maxing the E, which means the cooldown should go down to like 8 seconds or something. She has no items. Like she literally doesn't even have one completed item yet because she bought so many Thorin's Blades and was behind like 40 CS in lane. I mean, I don't give AD carries that much hell usually. I give them a little bit of hell. But this is like, if she opted into this, like she has a champion she can play. She chose to play Xayah. At the last second, she was hovering her best champ. I maybe should have dodged. I don't know. Like, I think the other people were all playing champs they were experienced on, though. And it's always like, Xayah can be really good with Rakan if you play her correctly, but she obviously doesn't. Oh well. The fact that she was trying to blame Zach and then blame me for like the 2 seconds when I had it unmuted is just sad, though. Hey, thanks, Poutine. I appreciate it. Yay, we got our first item completed in 21 minutes. Comeback time, baby.
Humans think that to believe in something, you have to be serious about it. That's their problem.
I mean, the Lee is gonna fall off. They're gonna get Baron right here, probably, though. Maybe if Zach gets a Miracle Steal. I don't have a Control Ward. Now, they gave us a chance. They let us 50-50 a Baron. That's about all we can ask for at this point in the game. Favorite chant? Probably Rakan. I don't know. I think Zarya is kind of hard to play. Yeah, I mean, you got to get the geometry right on her feathers. Did she ult the wrong direction? I didn't even notice. No, that was an acceptable direction ult. I don't know why it's not loading up or whatever. We'll give it a second. I want to see that one tower thing though. I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but like it was 4v5. They had Baron, and they are really far ahead. Oh, was Garen AFK or something? What are they even arguing about? Oh, was he AFK? He's 4 levels up? 3 levels up? I legit did not even notice that he was AFK. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, Nasher's Garen. Okay. Well, I guess I could have reported him for trolling, but whatever. Doesn't matter. I just want to see this and see, like... Because if she E'd right in front of me and I didn't see it, then that was my fault for trying to force that fight. Wait, oh, I was about to say, when did we get a victory? And that was from the remake. I just want to see if I played that fight correctly. Okay, this is when I ward up their jungle. I think it's when I come back from warding up their jungle. Is that where I died? Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I used my W. So I didn't have my W for the fight, which is kind of rough. Okay, so she gets grabbed here. Okay, I shield onto her. Get going. She doesn't ult. She doesn't even auto. There's one feather on the ground. Three feathers. Blade Callers misses everybody. She had every ability, including her ult. She didn't Q. She didn't auto. So literally, she had everything. She got hooked with all of her abilities intact. So, I mean, I guess I wasn't exactly forced into it. My W did have some cooldown left on it. I mean, let me see. One more time. Okay, so she gets hooked here. I ult, shield in, CC both of them. She misses everything. I ignite. I mean, I feel like if she ulted, like, as soon as she got hooked, and, like, as soon as Lucian dashed in, if she just ulted, and then I ulted onto her, then she could have Blade Callared back, and we probably would have killed him. But, alright. So, I mean, I think I played that about the way I was supposed to play it. I mean, I could have shielded her and not gone for the ult there. I honestly forgot that my W was still on cooldown too, because I used it over the wall. But I think we should have had enough gas in the tank to kill him, especially with her triple Doran's build. Like, that should give her a lot of damage early on. Because Lucian had already used his dash. I don't know. It is what it is. Clearly, she doesn't know what she's doing on the champ, which makes sense because she's only played it 3 times and she's 0-3. So she just should not have played it. Just, you know, word of the wise, just play what you're good on. Like, don't try to pick something that matches the comp if you don't know what you're doing on the champ. I mean, I'm not saying I could play it any better at this elo bracket. But I'm also not picking it. Oh, Cassin's ban. I guess was ban Senna.
Fine. I don't need more enemies.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure I didn't screw that up because I know someone had. that's one of the better scam emails. I've gotten, but if you're gonna write a mass like scam type of email, this is one of the better ones, but make sure that you keep the font consistent throughout the entire email, because when you change the font on the person's name, they know you're just inserting their name. So it's not like a bot, it's just like a person. May not like literally be a scam, but kind of a scam. I don't know if y'all could even see this at the strategy professor. Y'all probably can't see it here on the thing. See how the font's a little different there? It's a different size. It's a different type of font. Means you're copy pasting a name into an email that's already preformed. He's like, I'm specifically reaching out to you, blah, blah, blah. Ash!
Let's dance.
Well, I didn't show I was picking Rakan. I had picked before, I had to pick it before she picked it. I can't tell if these people are good on these champs or not. Oh, wait, yeah, I can. Auto-filled, first time Ash, Alali 57%. It's dodging. 50% cat. Nah, I don't recommend Volibear as a support. I mean, if it's not in my top 15 in support, like, I'm probably not gonna recommend it. There are a couple, like Tarek might be a little bit stronger than I think he is right now with the right kind of build, like presence of mind. Maybe Shirelia's, but no, I mean, I just think there are better tanks if you want to play an engaged tank. Like you said, he kind of has to have flash. Like, yeah, you can flash Q, but you can flash Q with a lot of things. You can flash Q with Blitz. You can flash Q with a lot of stuff. I mean, he does, like, decent AoE damage in team fights. I just feel like there are better picks most of the time. I know there have been a couple of pro players that play him. Like, if you do his Majestic Roar at the right time, you can stop mobility. So, you know, maybe he could be an okay pocket pick into something like Rakan, possibly. I just think he's going to get kited, and he just doesn't have enough CC. All he has is his flip. Unless that Majestic Roar is, like, really good against what they're doing. Like, maybe against a Tristana. Or, like a Rakan or something, maybe, but... Nah, I don't want to be 1 people. It's just kind of a waste of time. I don't see League as a 1v1 game. Well, it kept me at 0 LP? Hold on, what was I after last game? I thought I was at 3. I should be at negative 7. It's that weird noise. Let me put on some more coffee real quick and we'll investigate. Because it was doing that the other day. I lost 3 and I thought I should have lost more than that. Yeah, because I'm at 22. I had a dodge. That would have put me at 19. And then a loss would have, if I lost 16, I'd be at 3. Like, there's no way I'd be at 10 LP after dodging for 3 and losing a game. There's no way I only lost 9. So, that's weird. Hold on, let me put the coffee on and we'll check it out. We got a couple minutes on the dodge. Alright. Okay, so we are at 0. Got 30 seconds here. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, I was at 3 LP. I was wondering if anyone would say anything about that weird ass noise. Turkey. Just sometimes it's just a pop quiz just to make sure people are listening. But look at this. Okay, so I had before that last dodge. Sometimes I just say random stuff in class just to see if anyone looks up. No, I don't really do that, but that would be really funny. So I was at 3 after the last loss. Is it 3 LP for every dodge now? Every 6-minute dodge is 3 LP? And the thing is, they change stuff about dodging, like, under the hood, and they never tell anybody. Because they don't want people to know that dodging is actually a thing in League of Legends. But it looks like I just lost 3 for that. Dude, if it's $3 dodge all day, I'm all about it, baby. That's like $3 margaritas. I could go for one of those right now. What's up, Hassan? I'm sure we'll get a chance to test that theory later tonight. But like what it used to be, old school wise, was your dodge timer resets every 16 hours. And if you dodged once, it was, or not like super old school, but for the last like 4 years or so, it was, you dodge once, it's 6-minute dodge, you lose 3 LP. You dodge twice within 16 hours, or anything more than once, it's 10 LP and a 30-minute lockout. That might be it. But it used to be 10, a 10 dodge for anything within 16 hours of your last dodge. So if you dodge once, and then you dodge again 15 hours later, it would be 10 points, minus 10, and you would have to wait an additional 16 hours after that 15th hour dodge before you were clear again, and you got one more 3-point dodge. And then recently what they changed within like the last 6 months or so, I'm not sure exactly when, it seemed like it was over winter break, maybe in the preseason, they recently changed it to where I believe it's if you wait a certain amount of time after your dodge, then it goes down to a 6-minute dodge again. It's not 30 minutes, but you still lose 10. I don't know if it's you have to play a game first, or if it is you have to wait like an hour. Because sometimes a game can take about an hour, including champ select and all that kind of stuff before you get into another one. So I'm not sure what the mechanism is there. But we've had 2 dodges tonight. So we dodged once for 3, 6 minutes minus 3. Then we played a game, lost it, just dodged again, and we got another 6 minutes, 3 LP is what it looks like. Oh, I've lost 10 all the time. Trust me, on stream. I mean, not like every stream, but definitely multiple times per week. I am sure as hell not gonna first pick you, Ezreal. I'm gonna pray to God they pick Ezreal before you do. No, dude. Why? We might get to test the theory right here. We might have to do it for science. Platinum games are not easy compared to silver, dude. Trust me, if you drop a platinum player into silver, he's gonna annihilate everybody. Even like the worst looking platinum player, even that Xayah from last game. And Xayah, frankly, she wasn't having a good game, but I've seen far worse than that. You drop a really bad like platinum player into like a mid-silver game, and they're gonna blow them out. It's just because because they're playing against their peers. It's like you could see someone who's like a college basketball player or something and just be like, wow, this is terrible. I've seen better players at my pickup games at the YMCA or something like that. It's like, but if you actually drop a college player into a YMCA game, they're going to crush them. because the caliber of player is going to be lower. So it can create the illusion when it's people playing against their peers at a higher level that they're actually really weak, but then if they're playing against weaker competition, they would massacre them. Please dodge. Don't lock, don't lock, don't lock, don't lock. Yes! You know it's going to be a good night when you get excited when someone else dodges. Hell yeah. Why ban Cassidy? Because he's OP as hell. He's a face roll, no skill champ that you basically lose the game when he hits level 16. Like, I just don't want him in my game. He's too risky. It's like a time bomb. Games are going longer. People have a hard time closing out. It's really hard to punish him once he gets to level 6. It just takes one bad team fight where he just... Or it takes either a bad team fight or just some idiot running through the bushes where there's no vision and he just gets a couple of kills and that's it. Yeah, but those are like... No one's going to play those every game and those aren't really that great in the meta right now. Yeah, I mean, that is true to some extent, Jolty, but I'm just saying in general, like... It's easy to see people that are higher ranked and say, man, they really screwed up or they're playing poorly. I could do better than that. But then once you actually like step in and play against that level of competition, it's a different ballgame. I'll tell you, the closest experience I had to this was in season, I think it was preseason 7, maybe early or like really late season 6. I don't remember, but I was Diamond 4. And I think it was the beginning of a season. So I think it was like near the start of Season 7 or preseason. And I played against... I got matched against Lemon Nation, who was on a Smurf. If you guys don't know who he is, he was a pro support. He was considered... I don't think he was ever considered like an amazing support. But he was a pro support for Cloud9 at the time. And I just got annihilated in that game. And it's not in ways that you would think. It's not like... you know, he killed me like 10-1 in lane. It was the vision. Like, I could not do anything against him. Like, he knew where every ward was. He cleared it immediately, and he had wards everywhere. Vision on everything. Like, I've never seen such kind of vision control before. It was insane. Like, it's just stuff that you take for granted. Like, oh, I can just go clear that ward. No, you can't. When you're against, like, pro-level players, they're there before you are, and they're going to protect it. So he had some good players on his team, you know, with him. But we had some okay players also. But it's just like, it's a lot of stuff that you can't really comprehend until you're, like, at that level. Hey, thanks, player. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes it can look like higher level players are bad or they're having a bad game or something like that. But if you're a lower level than them, there's a very high probability they would massacre you. And all of your friends. So you gotta respect it. You gotta respect the level. Even though it looks like people are doing really poorly in some of these games, it's just because they're playing against other Platinum people that are just playing better than they are that game a lot of times. Hey, what's up, Joseph? I mean, you know, it's not every, you know, can a Gold 2 player be like a Platinum 3 player? Sure. You know, it's not like it's like there's no way. But when you're talking about a gap like Platinum to Silver, that's a pretty large gap. Just like if a master level player pops into Platinum, you're going to see a big difference. Most likely. You can stay if you want, GM Piro, but don't promote your channel here, please. I know it's hard to grow, man. I get it. I'm not watching it right now, but I usually watch G2 games. I watch, like, the best couple of teams from each region. Well, I mean, you might just be better at fighting games. I'm bad at fighting games. I'm bad at shooters. I mean, League is probably the most competitive game. If it's not the most competitive, it's one of them. There's a lot of players, and people take it very seriously most of the time. There's a lot of really good information and learning stuff out there. Obviously, like my channel, but there's a lot of kind of more corporate channels too. Like, people, I mean, it's basically a sport. Like, it's a lot closer to basketball than it is to, you know, Mario, League of Legends. So, I mean, when there's a game and it's consistently offering not only a pro scene but college scholarships, like that's pretty insane. Hold on, let me scout this out. This is not looking amazing either. I mean, I swear to God, I want to play games, but... Oh yeah, there are way more players, but I'm saying that, like, it's a very heavily studied and analyzed game, too. Like, the community, the amount of people, and the mental energy they put into trying to solve this game is just, like, tremendous. Well, they're all AD except for Singed. I don't like her comp.
Let's dance.
So Ari's auto-filled. Draven got counterpicked. First time Caitlyn. Just at least doesn't play her very much. The Graves is okay. The top lane's auto-filled. Does play Garen a little bit. Yuumi. I guess. I'm not thrilled about it. If it was a 3-point dodge, if I knew it was a 3-point dodge, I don't know if that's true anymore, Dedicated. It depends on what we mean by competitive, but there's not as much content. I mean, if you're talking, like, competitive is not necessarily, like, difficulty. Like, mechanical difficulty. That's not how I'm defining it. Not necessarily. There's some degree of that. Because, I mean, like, first-person shooters are going to be more mechanically difficult than League of Legends is. Like, you know, CSGO... Anything where you're having to aim like that and try to get headshots and stuff is going to be more mechanically difficult than League. Like, League is not a super heavy mechanical game compared to some games out there, you know, but it's the combination of, like, there being 160 different champions that are constantly changing and the different win conditions and the different items, and it's a lot more of the thinking, strategizing, and team play is what makes it challenging. You know, in StarCraft, it is much more mechanical, but it's just you, right? Most of the time, it's like 1v1. You know, there's just a lot less variables. But, I mean, to some extent, just calling, you know, trying to measure something in terms of competitiveness is, you know, somewhat subjective. I'm talking about it's, like, very, you know, well-studied, and the player base is increasingly stronger all the time. I mean, population is a huge, like, the more people that play something, that's not always the case, but that's a large indicator as well of competitiveness. You know, that's partially why it's not, like, Korea and China are two of the strongest regions because they have so many people that play there. It's like the concept of the AAA, you know, sports, right? Like the big state schools that have like 30,000 people in them. They have so many people, it's likely they're going to have some good football players in it, and so they're in a different league than the smaller schools. Part of that's money as well.
Okay, I'm here. The party starts now!
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I think they underestimate my charm. How is that
Yeah, I'm not really in love with this. If it was going to be another 3-point dodge, maybe I should do it. I feel kind of bad because I've already had 2 dodges, though, as a streamer. You know, I just kind of want to play. I could play on this Smurf. I mean, yeah, you can find exceptions, but that's generally how why the classification system is the way that it is. Well, life is tough because of competition, but it also creates opportunities that otherwise wouldn't exist. I mean, if something...
Minions have spawned.
It's not entirely true, but, like, because it's so competitive, because so many people, you know, want to do well in it, that creates opportunities for, you know, scholarships, for pro leagues, content creators, all that stuff, because people care and are invested in the game. Versus if it wasn't competitive, if it was super easy, like, you know, when it's just like kind of a for fun single player game or something, you know, it's not going to have the same life cycle. No one's going to care as much if you do well. There's not going to be as many opportunities for you as a professional or as a content creator or whatever. So competition is good in many ways. It can feel frustrating when you're not reaching your goals, but ultimately it's a good thing because it keeps people interested and invested in the thing, whatever the thing is. At least that's how I perceive it.
Headshot.
Humans will never understand our kind until they hear the song.
We gotta try to body block some of those if they're like 100% gonna hit Kate. They're gonna get blown out. I don't want him to press the attack on me. I just played on the Smurf. I mean, that's part of the reason I've been leveling up the Smurf, so I don't feel as much pressure to, like, just play games just because I don't want another dodge timer. I need to just be patient and be disciplined. If I need, you know, if I need to dodge 10 games in a row, I need to dodge 10 games in a row. I'm trying to climb. I can still have some good games on the Smurf. You get dealt a 2-7 offsuit 3 times in a row. That doesn't mean you should play it. In poker. Well, it's not, I mean, there is variance. You do have to play around variance. But there's variance in what your matchup's going to be, too, to some extent.
Myself. But you too.
But yeah, I mean that's part of the skill in League is trying to learn how to play with all of the different variables and adjust your gameplay to all of the different possible scenarios. That is a skill in and of itself. He could be coming down here. Oh, they got the scuttle? Jesus, because, yeah, they're going to be up. Well, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I mean, Caitlyn's not quite as bad as Ezreal, but she's pretty close. We just can't get, like, a tier 1 or even a tier 2 champ tonight. And the solo lanes. I mean, you can win around bad ADCs. We do it all the time. And the problem is, like, all the solo lanes are failing, too.
It's just you.
It's just one of those nights, unfortunately. We might get demoted on this. we have a mid laner? Do we have a fucking mid laner? What's going on?
They will remember my name.
I guess we got dragon. Holy.
I've been kicked around since I was born. It's all right. It's okay. I'm staying alive.
Crap. I totally forgot.
I mean, literally, you just walk over here and start casting stuff. She walked this way because the Lee jumped over the wall. It's like, you understand that's a Lee sin, right? Like, he's going right back over the wall again. Like, he's not going to take that Q unless he has an exit. Most likely. It's not a Lee sin on your team. It's the Lee sin on the enemy team.
I am a chronic line stepper.
Well, I mean, sometimes. Occasionally Jolty will say something. I mean, I think he's right to be a little shocked about what's going on in some of these games. Yeah, there's Talon. Alright, I mean, it's just one of those nights. I should have just dodged. I mean, it's my fault for not dodging. Yeah, he did. He did say he liked basketball. That is true.
Ha! I'm G to the D. Golden diamond, boy. Woo!
Yeah, but Garen's gonna get outscaled. I mean, it's good. I mean, at least he's not 0-5. But hey, thanks, friend.
I dub thee master of the circus, herder of cats, lord of the dances.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Lee Sin is 6. Jungle difference, man. I don't know. He lost the dragon too. He didn't even get the experience off the dragon. We stole it. Probably when he ganked one of the lanes and killed him. He has 3 kills and 1 assist, which gives you some experience, but he probably taxed the lane, or at least stayed for the experience on the push. So he probably shared with Talon or Singe top lane. Or he counter jungled something from Graves. Talon's just living down here.
Boom. Headshot.
He may have double scuttled too. No, they're Draven. I'm pretty sure it took bot scuttle. Lee may have taken bot scuttle like immediately when it spawned, and then he went top for a gank, but I thought he was top when scuttle spawned.
Then they will know magic's joy and its fury.
You get more gold if you share it. I'm pretty sure. Damn, he got my stand aside. Yeah, I should have dodged. I just felt guilty because I know people don't like sitting around seeing dodges, but I could just play on the Smurf. It's been fine. I mean, people don't like sitting around watching me get like completely curb stomped every game either, so it's kind of a lose-lose, but at least I wouldn't be losing LP. That's the difference. I mean, I don't even know if I would call what Talon's doing roaming at this point. I think it would just be literally 3v2ing the bot lane and just leaving an open lane for Ahri. Like, he's been down here like 4 times. And the thing is, it doesn't even matter because Lee's down here all the time too, and Draven and Yuumi could just straight up beat us in a 2v2. Like, they didn't even need the Lee there. I mean, he's gonna come down and dive us again.
The only way to understand magic is to plunge into it.
Just like living in our jungle.
Dance.
Yeah, they're gonna do dragon here. Probably gonna Q over the wall. It's not 30 yet. They're just champions that are just so much better than Caitlyn at what Caitlyn's trying to do. Senna is just like flat out same thing. Early game, way better. Draven, early pressure, way better. Misfortune, early pressure, way better. Even Jhin, better. Like, those champions are just so much easier to play. They all scale so much better. They have more utility. Caitlyn's just a dumpster fire champ. She has no combat sum, or no combat ult, basically.
I feel like my allies aren't recognizing how amazing my cloak is. I mean, seriously.
I mean, they could be trying to push us, but I think we'll just go ahead and push. Talon's coming down here anyways. It's possible to come back from this. I mean, we're obviously going to play it out for a little bit longer, but it's looking bleak.
An ally has been slain.
Huh, that's weird. Lee's in our jungle.
An ally has been slain.
Huh, that's weird. Talon's roaming. Where were they even sitting? They were sitting in this bush?
They've never seen moves like mine. Peekaboo.
Kate's just really hard to balance. She's almost never going to be great in solo queue because pros would abuse her. Although Senna, I mean, with the advent of Senna, there's just no reason to ever play Caitlyn unless they rework her. She's too hard to play.
I got freedom.
Okay, okay, Ahri, let's go. Okay, or let's not. I guess she's out of mana. Alright, I should have looked at her mana before I tried to go in. I mean, Senna is an overpowered version of Caitlyn, correct? Unless they just remove Senna's soul system or something. I don't know. They'd have to do so many things to make Senna, like, worse than Caitlyn. I mean, I suspect... Fucking Christ! Can you... That's not even a Caitlyn thing. Like, just... Use your minimap. I'd take a Varus over Caitlyn, sure.
I miss Sire.
Another dangerous situation. Thankfully, I can improvise.
We're just losing everything. He doesn't have his ult, but... Okay, okay. Well, he does fall off, and he does have a lot of their gold. Talon falls off. Their second dragon. It's possible. Ari has hit her last charm. She's waking up.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I dance so fine I kill.
Shut down.
Literally can't ever say anything nice. It's like, it never fails every time I say anything. How'd they see him when he was invisible? Oh, he stepped on a trap? Missed all of them.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay. Alright, Karen. I'm not doubting myself. I mean, people make mistakes in Platinum. That's why I don't like surrender too much, you know? But we're not favored. Very heavily unfavored. One more hit, baby. That was certainly really good. We needed that rift.
I don't want a world that's safe.
Hopefully Caitlyn gets Tabby.
I'm gonna burn this place down. Then help them build it back up. So I can burn it again.
Probably Night Vow. I was thinking... I don't think Frozen Heart. They don't have that many auto attackers.
Mankind is blind. I want them to see.
Someone's gonna try to make a play on Caitlyn, probably. He's the most vulnerable one.
If it don't get out of control, it ain't a party shot.
Trying to stay out of vision and hopefully that he takes that second Q.
I don't need anything but the right now.
Killing spree.
Yes, it is. I'm worried there.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Refuse.
Yeah, I wasn't quite able to get the shield there. Enough. I maybe could have shielded a little bit faster.
Should I be running? Yeah, I should probably be running.
Well, we're 2 and 2 on the Drake, so we've got the last 2. But
Time to get it started.
well, I guess with her frozen item, like that's not bad. With the Twin Shadows.
You weren't a little frightened?
Okay. We're probably all gonna die here.
Rampage. Your team has destroyed a turret.
I was close. If I got my cooldowns back, I maybe could have turned with the Garen, but like I would only get Twin Shadows if you have
Because I'm free.
the Glacial Rune. It's a lower damage build than if she went like Luden's Death Cap, but you know, the utility's pretty good,
It's an evolution.
I suppose. It does make it a lot easier to land your charm and to kite stuff, so it's easier to kite Singed with that.
Boom. Headshot.
I don't need to understand the plan. I trust you.
It's a terrible ward spot, so I'm gonna have to control ward it.
I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to scout around. Pretty.
Gotta let Garen get pressure bottom to make Singed go down there. I had to ult, so because I can't see him when he's invisible, just to try to block, so he couldn't run at the Ahri.
Why is it taking so long to get back to the action?
Can we get inhibitor? Okay, alright, it's fine. Both of them are fine. I mean, we had a 3v5 at the inhibitor, I guess. This is the safer play. Lee losing his kick's a pretty big deal for us.
They're scared of darkness. They're scared of where from?
We do have Water Drake. Save my mana. Just making sure he's not sneaking in that way. Since our ward saw that he wasn't anywhere else.
I'm just trying to live the moment.
Yeah, Garen beats Draven one-on-one, sure. Unless Draven has a weird item to help him kite. I mean, Garen's really strong in like one-on-one situations. Just the issue is sometimes he can get kited by stuff, but
I'm offended by how little
if he gets to sit there and spin to win, yeah, he's gonna kill him. Maybe not like 6 item Draven with double lifesteal or something, but a lot of times, yeah. Draven's gonna beat most ADCs. Maybe not Vayne, but alright, well, that was looking rough, but I don't even know. They just screwed up. Lee stopped camping bottom. Lee finally stopped camping bottom, and then once that opened up the map, Garen just got a couple of good picks, I guess. Ahri came alive. She got a couple of good picks. We had better vision control than they did. Yuumi has terrible vision control in a lot of circumstances, so... Yeah. I'll give it to the streamer guy. He said he seemed like a nice guy, didn't have a lot of viewers. Is this, he's not Iceman, is he? No, it's someone else asking to duo. Now, let's not get crazy. I'm just saying, good job. I mean, y'all can rate him if you want to. Yeah, I murdered the Yuumi in vision. I had almost double her vision. I mean, I just had wards all over their jungle, and that allowed the Ahri and just everyone else to make picks, and I felt like they just didn't know where we were. Like, we caught them off guard a lot. This person's so... People get so mad about Yuumi. It isn't. YouTube doesn't care, man. You can dual stream if you want. I'm pretty sure. Nothing in YouTube's terms of service says you can't stream on multiple platforms. Twitch is the one that's really strict about that. Twitch says you can't dual stream. I mean, even if you just show another stream or something briefly like that, they're not going to care. But Twitch doesn't let you stream on YouTube and their platform at the same time. Oh, damage on Garen? Garen can do a lot of damage. Hey, what's up, Sammy? Okay, let me go grab my coffee real quick. I'll put us back in queue. I'm going to run just one commercial. I'm not sure if we'll miss the queue or not, but hopefully we get it. I think Riot classifies Garen as a juggernaut. I just call them all like brute. Like how I think about champs, I'm thinking tank is typically relatively low damage, lots of CC, very difficult to kill. Like Malachi, Sejuani, sort of quintessential tanks. Then you have what I call bruisers, what I think Riot calls juggernauts, are like next up on the tanky, like just often like a little bit less tanky than something like a Malachi or a Sejuani. Less CC oftentimes, but a lot more damage. Like low mobility is kind of their thing typically. Now Garen kind of breaks some of those rules because he has pretty high mobility. And then I think of fighters as like much bigger damage, more mobility, usually not that tanky, unless they're like in an OP state. Like that's kind of how I differentiate them. But I mean, some of that's arbitrary. Like is Ornn really a tank when he puts out the kind of damage he's been putting out for the last 5 patches? I mean, he's closer to a juggernaut. And Garen is very difficult to kill a lot of times. Someone like Set is very difficult to kill. So, I mean, some of it is just kind of subjective. But yeah, Garen certainly is capable of putting out a lot of damage, especially with Triforce. Well, yeah, I mean, usually there's 3 categories of things that I think of that a champion should not have all 3 of these, and really good champions usually have 2 of them. That's mobility, survivability, and damage. If a champion has all 3 of those, usually that's the recipe for OP most of the time. And, Garen has flirted with that, especially in the preseason. Garen was kind of like that. Ornn is sort of like that. He doesn't have the mobility, but he has a ton of like utility. You know, he gives out 5,000 free gold to his allies, and he has this like lots and lots of AoE CC. Yeah, I agree. I think Set shield's a bit too much. Set has been coming back into line a little bit. I don't know who to ban.
Yes.
I guess I could have banned Blitzcrank, but so Set's kind of come back into line a little bit, but he still is on the strong side. I just wish they'd get rid of his true damage, but I just think true damage is really toxic. They're just really pushing the Garen. Like, that's been their mission since the preseason, is like, let's make Garen viable in like Diamond, you know? It's like, why, dude? Just leave him in Silver. Like, it's fine. Dude, the ADC, there are so many bad ADCs right now. Like, not as players per se, although some of that, but just like the things people are playing right now that are popular are bad. Like, that's always baffled me. That happens more, I feel like, in ADC than any other role, is people play just bad champs. Like, the most popular champs are like the worst champs a lot of times. Well, they do have an Ezreal. I could go for something like Yuumi, but let's do Rakan.
Let's dance.
It's like, not always, but I feel like that, like Ezreal, really bad, really popular right now. Vayne, bad, popular. Kai'Sa, bad, probably fairly popular. Senna is popular and she's really good. And Misfortune, but I don't know. It's just, it's weird. I mean, I guess maybe that happens in other roles too, and I'm just not thinking enough about it, but ADC is one of the lowest played roles, yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't play jungle. ADC is probably third. I don't know. I'd be guessing. Support's pretty much always lowest. And then probably jungle. It probably depends on your elo bracket. Okay, so they have, like, no damage on their team. Outside of Kiana. I mean, I guess a Mumu can go damage. Okay, they're gonna dodge. Well, the thing is, like, Vayne is really popular too, and pros never play her. I mean, Vayne's a fun champ in general, but I mean, let me see. So what are the pick rates here? Okay, so support. You know, Thresh, Senna, Nautilus. Yuumi's the fourth most popular support right now, actually. But, like, Thresh, Senna, Nautilus, Blitzcrank, Yuumi, Leona, Nami, those are all, like, pretty respectable champions, you know? People can debate Yuumi. She's the only one that's under 50%, though. But a lot of those champions are, like, 51, 52%. Thresh, I don't think is that great right now, but people love him. He's fun. He's still, like, all right, though. You know? So, like, it's not that far off from, like, what's actually good. Like, there aren't that many things that are, like, sleeper. You know, there are some. I think Rakan's definitely sleeper. There's a few. But it's not like people are sleeping on, you know, they probably get, like, 7 of the top 10 champs correct by pick rate, you know? But then if we go over to bot lane, we look at the most popular champs. You know, Ezreal, Kai'Sa are just, like, gutter right now, I think. Vayne somehow has a fairly high win rate. I guess I just never see a good Vayne on my team. Caitlyn's bad. Misfortune's good. Lucian's, like, okay. Aphelios, I think, is still really good in the right hands. Jhin actually has a higher win rate than I thought he would. But, I mean, I guess to be fair, there really aren't that many good ADCs. Kallista's kind of sleeper, but she's hard to play. Twitch is sleeper. But, I mean, to be fair, there just aren't that many good AD carries in general. Like, who are good AD carries where I'm like, all right, good. Like, I'm feeling good if we pick this. Like, Misfortune. Maybe Aphelios if they've practiced him. Senna. Draven, Callista. Probably Twitch. ADC is just really weak. I think it's probably the weakest role right now. In fact, I know it's the weakest role right now. There are not good ADC. There's like a couple. That's it. Most popular mid laners. Diana's good. I don't think Sylas and Yasuo are that great. Cat can be good. The thing about AD carry is like the pick rate is very concentrated too. Like because it's the least diverse role. So like the highest pick rate mid laner is 11%. Highest pick rate support is 21%. Highest pick rate ADC is almost 30% on Ezreal. It's 30, 22, 20. Versus this is like 21, 18, and then starts dropping to 11. There's one champion over 10% mid lane pick rate. Jungle, Lee's super popular, but then everything else is kind of like, you know, 10% or less. Top lane, same deal. It's like, there's a few that are around 10% and everything's lower. Because top and mid are the most diverse lanes. ADC is just bad. I mean, they tried to rework the role a few seasons ago and everyone just lost their mind. Because they tried to, like, make mages more viable. I think mages are good right now, bot lane. People just don't play them. Like, I think some of them. I think Cassiopeia is extremely good. I think Vlad's viable. Probably something like a Syndra would be viable. Yeah, I've seen the fasting Senna. I think that's going to get nerfed. It's the stuff like that where it abuses the support item, and it's better if you're a gold champion. So basically anything that's not support, using support items, it's really toxic because you're not interacting with your, like, because a big part of how you measure a good laner is how much CS they have. And so it's not good for the game. Like, it's difficult for people to understand. It's difficult for people to process and play correctly. You know, like, pro commentary and stuff is awkward. It, like, kind of skews pro players' stats, you know, for people who care about that. Fantasy league stuff. I think it's going to get nerfed. I didn't see the news about the funnel strat. Where is that? So I think it'll be nerfed. Anyone that's, like, not a support using a support item, it's going to end up being toxic, basically. Okay, so nerfing the miss by 20%. They honestly just need to make it to where you don't get missed off of minions. Like, there's a 0% chance of getting missed off of minions. Just get it off of hitting champions. And if they needed to buff it, if they needed to make it 1.2 or something like that instead, I'd be okay with that. But I think just being able to, like, not get it off of champions is bad.
Let's dance.
Or being able to get it off of minions is bad. I don't know what I just said, but that's what I meant. It's kind of like the Sona Taric thing bot lane. It's like, it's never really that great in solo queue. It's difficult to emulate outside of a controlled team environment. It's just not good for the game. Jesus Christ. I was doing this earlier, man. I just can't get off it. I just don't understand why. I mean, I don't know. I guess he wins games. I actually looked at it earlier because I was curious. I think I actually had a decent win rate with Ezreal. So maybe I'm just losing my mind. Maybe I'm just like I just have lost touch with reality. It just feels so bad, but I do have a 73% win rate according to this whenever I have Ezreal on my team. So maybe it just feels awful, but somehow we win. I mean, that's a 13 game sample or 15 game sample size. It's not like super low. Vhagar. Alright, we'll go in the Tenacity rune, and then I guess we'll get Mercs. Do people know how to play their champs? I didn't even look. The Ezreal, in theory, does. I don't know. I was talking about this for a long time earlier tonight. I don't understand, like, other than he's fun to play, but, like, his win rate has literally gone up in the last, like, 2 months. His win rate, or his play rate tripled from 10% to 30% play rate. And he literally has not had any buffs. Like, all the buffs on him were in the preseason. He was still 10% played. Like, the only thing I can think of is everyone thinks that Aphelios, Senna, and Misfortune are not playable anymore. And so they just are playing Ezreal. Because I couldn't find any all-caps websites or those corporate websites or whatever that were trying to promote him. He has a 33% win rate in Pro. He's like only the 4th most played. So people aren't playing him all the time.
I may be outnumbered.
I mean, the only thesis I can come up with is everyone just thinks everything else is bad.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
What humans call magic?
I mean, it seems awful, but like the stats, like 75% win rate when I'm like, when an Ezreal's on my team is, I don't know. I'm having such, damn it, I'm blanking out on the psychology word. Cognitive dissonance right now.
I may be outnumbered.
I can't, I'm holding 2 contradictory views in my head at once, and my brain just can't handle it.
Minions have spawned.
It seems bad, but actually has highest win rate of the ADCs that I play with.
I don't need to understand the plan. I trust my love.
Well, the ADCs aren't building crit in my games.
I need to know when the action's coming.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, DM. I mean, you're right. Like, in theory, he's good against those champs, but, you know, until, like, in December, he had a 10% play rate. Like, those champs have been nerfed several times since that. So, you know, why weren't they playing him all last fall?
Woo! I'm so into this.
Like, what's so special about that? Like, why the triple? It's not like it went up, like, a few percent in play rate. It's, like, literally triple. 3 times as many people are playing Ezreal right now. That's, like, very, very dramatic rise in popularity.
I don't want a world.
It's like, yes, he always is, in theory, a popular champ because he's fun, he's mobile. Yes, you know, in theory, he's good at dodging things like Leona and Nautilus and all that, but it's like, that could have happened at any point. It has to be other stuff got nerfed. People are just playing it. Maybe it's just more auto-filled people. Maybe a lot of people just quit playing Ezreal. I don't think so. This person's an AD carry main. I don't know.
There's
Defies all
wildness in the
reason.
bees and the flowers. It's just a fury human.
First blood.
There's no, like, cool build on him. It's the same thing. I mean, people are going lethal tempo now, I guess, with the same items, but... Maybe there is someone that I mean, I didn't look that hard at all of the all-caps videos. Maybe there's a really popular person that's been pushing the Ezreal narrative a little bit more. Yeah, they removed Klepto, which was not only, like, a really fun aspect of his kit, but that was also what made him, like, a little bit more viable. Although, to be fair, his win rate didn't really budge when they removed Klepto. He's always like 48%, no matter what. Yeah, but I mean, it is because tank and Gage are popular, but at the same time, once again, that's been the case for almost a year now, like 9 months or so. Since, like, March. It's been all about, like, Nautilus and Leona when they got all those buffs. Ooh, I could have ignited, maybe. I could have forced the heal. I wasn't sure if he was going to take a second shot or not. And he did have Aftershock. How was he We've only had 1 trade.
Humans call it battle. Let's take a dance.
Boom. Headshot.
Because Caitlyn's hacking. She's using traps. I don't know. That's always my thing with ADC that I talked about. It's like, it feels like there are more people that play bad champs on ADC than any other role. Like, the popular champs are not good. It's like this really weird phenomenon where people just don't want to play the good champs. Maybe the good champs just aren't fun, but I feel like Senna's fun, right? Like, Aphelios is fun. I feel like Misfortune's fun. I don't know. But then again, like I said, to be fair, there just aren't, like, most AD carries are bad. There's, like, maybe 5 good ones, and one of those 5 is a mage. I couldn't let him go. He was right at the tower. Woo. Shin just got 6. Oh my god. Dude, what if Shin TP'd into that? Like, oh my lord. That would have been brutal. So, I mean, hey. If you can just stay alive as AD carry, maybe that's enough. Maybe, you know. The problem is I see Ezreal's die a lot, too. But, I don't know. It's gotta just be, I'm just a hater. Like, that's the only explanation for Ezreal, because I do have a high win rate with him. It just seems like he's bad, but if you win the game, you win the game. I mean, you can't just look at stats, though. Like, stats are part of the picture. But they're not the whole thing. I'm gonna have to get Mercs. I don't want to get them yet, though, because it's double AD lane.
Should I be running? Yeah, I should probably be running.
I mean, if you're just gonna be like a stat person, like, the best is probably something really obscure. I don't know what, like, the highest win rate support's gonna be. But if you're looking at win rates strictly, Nami and Janna have higher win rates. Almost guarantee you Nami and Janna have higher win rates than Nautilus and Leona. Like, I'm like 90% sure that's true. Even given those aren't going to be the highest win rates. It's going to be something really obscure, probably. Has like a 2% or less play rate, but Nami and Janna are almost certainly going to be a higher win rate than Leona and Nautilus. However, I am the number 70 Rakan in North America right now, I believe, something like that. So I think playing Rakan's okay. I don't know. It seems like it's all right. Rakan also, I believe, I don't know if he has the highest win rate in Pro. I'm pretty sure he does still. He's up there.
An ally has been slain.
That Ezreal's getting it, man. I like it. He's getting aggro. I mean, so stats are important, but they're not everything, you know what I mean? But they are something. They're not everything, but they are something. Maokai is surprisingly, like... okay, thanks again. Maokai is surprisingly, like, pretty good in some comps. Like, he's pretty good against Rakan. He's a solid peeler tank. But I think Tarek, I might be underrating Tarek a little bit more than I should. If I haven't tried like a Shirelia's build on him, but if you have an engaged tank, like a Zac or a Sejuani or something like that, I think if you have Shirelia's with that with Tarek, maybe.
Has been slain.
This looks like another dangerous situation.
Okay, I'll have to look at the Bard thing. I mean, Bard seemed like that was going to be pretty bad to me, but maybe not.
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, it's thought that Leona Nautilus counter Rakan, but I've got like a 70-something% win rate against Leona
Kiss myself.
as Rakan. Nautilus is like over 60%, I think. Rakan's probably, as crazy as it sounds, he's probably one of the most misunderstood, underrated supports. Which is crazy because he gets played all the time in pro, and he's like been the MVP pro support for like a million seasons. But like most tier lists don't even have him tier 1. They put like, I don't know, some obscure supports like higher.
In, turn on, drop out.
The last time I looked at one of those sites like Pro Guides or something, Rakan was like the 20th support down. Just behind like Vagar and Karma and Master Yi support. No, not Master Yi support, but I don't know. Just like, I'm like, really guys? I don't know. I never say anything in those videos because I don't want to be that guy. It's like, excuse me. My favorite support that I think is good is not as high as it should be on your tier list. You know, but...
Where
I mean, we can fight this. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it's good for like a debate, but as long as, you know, people are respectful about it. But Jarvan, pull this out probably. Yeah, let's collapse on him. Oh my god, the knock-up though. Holy shit. Okay, I guess I should have looked at the TP. Wow, that was catastrophic. Holy.
humans claim it is theirs, fence us away and cover it in refuse.
No, Bard is not one of the best late game supports. What do you mean? He's all about early game. Well, Thresh does have a good kit. It depends. It's a creative, interesting kit. I mean, it's good. It is one of the best, yeah. I mean, Bard's win rate typically goes like this. Left to right, top to bottom. Like, he has a way higher win rate at like 20 minutes than he does at like 35.
Turret plating will fall.
Once again, stats aren't everything, but it's because like a lot of his stuff, like he just does a lot of early damage, but then he falls off later. Like 2 of his abilities don't even do any damage. He has no scaling. Like his items, as far as like items go and ratios on his abilities, it's pretty much like his meeps. Okay, I guess we maybe should have been a lot more careful with that, knowing that Jarvan was close, because he warded over the wall. Knowing, like, I wasn't respecting the Shen. Because Shen hasn't used his ult down here all game, but we knew he was there. I mean, I commented on it earlier. I just wasn't paying attention. Singe didn't have his TP at the time. And we didn't need to force it. We're really far ahead, so I don't know. That was just... I wasn't thinking. How are we down 30 CS? I feel like we've been destroying this lane.
An enemy has been slain.
Is Jarvan here? Thresh is acting really weird. We have water? We don't have water. Oh shit. Shit. That net. Damn, I got thugged. I could have ignited before I died too. That net just completely stuffed me. I should have strafed the net. I mean, it was pretty obvious there was going to be a gank there, but I thought I would be able to work around it. But she just, like, deleted me with, like, a net headshot. We'll just go with that.
Feel good.
Figure it out. We could either go for Shiralia's Redemption or Knight's Vow. We just got mugged.
An ally has been slain.
Yasuo is a fun champ, man. Look, he's awesome. I don't know why people hate on Yasuo so much, but not Braum. Like, it's similar. I mean, Yasuo is just better, but... Everybody's there. Okay, well, I guess at least he got a kill back.
Shut down.
And Sin should be able to get a tower out of that, probably. Oh, damn it, there's a dragon.
Spark of madness.
Trying to get him to waste some time.
I will make them dance. I will make them hear.
Headshot.
I just don't understand we're down. I feel like we've been winning a lot of these exchanges, but the last two, not so much, but before that...
An ally has been slain.
I need to push this and get the experience. No, Braum blocks the ults. Braum himself takes severely reduced damage by the ults, but he does block them.
I may be outnumbered, but not equal. And against I may be outnumbered, but not equal. And against
I don't do safe.
Then seems to go to a side lane. can't get any better vision. Any thoughts on the new expansion? I have not kept up with contemporary WoW at all, man. I haven't even, I did honestly did not even know that was a thing. I think I'm still just gonna get this to start with. I mean, maybe I need to get a Mikhail's. The problem with Mikhail's is a lot of times people stand in the middle and they won't like walk into it. The thing, and I can't Mikhail's myself if I step on it. I think that would be a nice quality of life change to Mikhail's if you could use it on yourself. Like a Quicksilver Sash, even if you're CC'd.
Long ago, our kind on the mountain.
Yeah, we need to split and skirmish. We don't want to 5v5 them against that Vagar cage. Need to try to create some cover for Singed, so he can push further.
Zaya! Hey!
I'm not gonna get caged there.
Not even the odds can stand against me.
We talk about their lies.
Well, that was all vision.
Love?
Yeah, I didn't get the experience for that. Unfortunate.
If you weren't a little frightened, you ain't alive.
I would probably try to play a monk, but I don't know the meta. I wish I played a monk in Warlords. I don't know, like, Druids were really fun and they were really good. I think they were the overall best healer. Warlords is the last time I played retail. Monk just looked like it's fun, but I think Monk gets reworked like every expansion. If I was playing vanilla, I'd play Priest. Probably. I could have flashed and not gotten caged. We did get a 2-for-1 there. Now Senna's stuff has really weird. I think people are right that it gets around the wind wall. Like there are certain abilities that do get around wind wall. It depends. Like I believe Vagar's ult does.
Gotta get myself hyped. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Vagar, actually not Vagar. I was thinking Vel'Koz, but maybe Vel'Koz doesn't. I don't remember. There's some really weird interactions. This Easy is playing pretty well. I know. Well, we got 2 kills, which is how it A-rammed. I mean, it started off with a pick on Thresh. What should have been a clean pick on Thresh. I just wasn't decisive enough. Can we start... We can start threatening Baron area. That's where most of our vision is right now. can't say anything good about. Not the AD carry, that's the kiss of death. Hey, thanks so much.
What faction do you play and why is it Alliance?
No children.
Oh, I don't play current WoW. I've played on Alliance and Horde. To be honest with you, I tend to like Horde a little bit better. But back in vanilla, it was actually a bit Horde. It was so much easier, I think, in vanilla with Horde. At least leveling up. I don't know, like end game. I don't know. Humans were pretty OP, like really in game with some of their like racials, like the extra weapon skill, because rogues were like very OP damage wise. I know in Burning Crusade, I feel like Horde was... Wait, no, you had shamans on both sides. I was about to say Bloodlust was extremely powerful. And Burning Crusade was when I played the most, and when I was like most into like top end raiding. Like I got in. I think I left before. I only got to see a little bit of Hyjal and Black Temple that my guild was doing. I played a couple of encounters in BT. I didn't do. Might need to do Locket next. I mean, he's literally just run it down twice. I can't get vision if you're always dead, dude. People think wards just magically appear on the map. It's like if they're all standing there, I can't run around them and get vision.
I feel good.
You're Ezreal. How do you keep getting stunned?
Why is it taking so long to get back to the action?
But I played a Warlock back in the day. I didn't really play a healer until Warlords. I did it. Yeah, we need to go straight to Dragon.
Humans think that to believe in something, you have to be serious about it. That's their problem.
Did we get him anyways? Okay. I was just about to wait there. Good smite. I got hooked, so I couldn't knock him up. I maybe should have just gone over the wall there. We'll see what we want to do next.
I'm gonna burn this place down, then help them build it back up, so I can burn it again.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, that makes Senna, like, more than Yasuo. If that gets around Braum, if her autos get around Braum, that's actually a really huge thing in pro play that I hadn't really thought of. Because Braum is, like, the strongest support right now in pro. Either Braum or Rakan, or Tom. It's, like, somewhere in those three, depending on your comp. But that gets around one of the major supports, if that's the case. They should definitely change that. Probably has something to do with, like... Oh, Lord. He's going. Boy's going for it. Babaka! Hit him with that Babaka. About the Shadowlands. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Like, I wouldn't be necessarily averse to playing WoW. It's just, with my life right now, it's hard to do it. Because it's not something that, like, widespread a lot of people would watch unless you're in, like, the top guild or you're a legacy, you know, content creator that's been doing it for a long time. You know, like Soda Poppin' or Asmongold or something like that. There's just not that many people that consistently watch MMOs. So it'd be hard to, like, make work on the channel. And then it takes a lot of time to do, like, top-end rating. Most of the time, at least it used to. And so it'd be hard to do other stuff. Like, Total War kind of works as sort of a side project on the channel because I can just, you know, do an hour-long Total War video anytime I want. It's single player. I can do that at my own schedule. But, like, I would not be able to do League and something like WoW, most likely. So yeah, there's just not the viewership. Takes a ton of time. It's really, like, scheduled and regimented. If you want to raid, usually you have to put aside, like, a 3 or 4 hour block 3 or 4 times a week, depending on how serious your guild is. Sort of duck, but it's very difficult to make something like that work. Got a little banter going on here. Why is the 1 in 10 guy talking? It's like, just stop. Just say, bro, I had a bad game. That's it. Hey, what's up, John? Wait, are you the historical John or are you a different John? And there's probably several Johns that watch the channel, but are you the John that's been watching for a long time with just a different picture? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think it is kind of unintuitive. Like, yes, you don't physically see a projectile on Senna, but it's like, she has such a huge range, you would just assume it's a projectile. I would. But yeah, I didn't know that interaction well. That's really good for Braum, man. They're really good against Braum, then. Because she's called ranged. And it says it, like, right there. Many deal damage through projectiles, which are, like, mitigated by wind wall. It says many, though, not all. Okay, I guess it says it right there. Does not use a projectile. Okay, I mean, it says it right there in the text. I don't know. I guess I just never put that together. They condensed this a little bit here. I thought there used to be a lot more writing. Oh, that's just her basic attacks. Okay. This is her passive. Okay. What's up, John? Good to see you again, buddy. Yeah, I was gonna ask if it was from South Carolina, but I didn't know. I mean, you've said that publicly on the channel before, but I didn't know if I should, like, how you felt about me mentioning your state. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna track down a random, like, viewer, you know, on a YouTube channel based on just their state, but... Did they release... Okay, they've got Hextech Sejuani. Hextech Rakan, when's it gonna happen? They'd have to release Zaya with it, though. Alright, what are we at? We're 2-1, I think, tonight. Or are we 2-0? We've definitely lost one. I think we came back from one that looked like it was gonna... Well, I don't know lore-wise, but... Ezreal, I don't think rushed Bork. I think he got that after... He definitely had Manamune first. He went Manamune, Ionian Boots, and then I wasn't tracking his, like, purchase by purchase after that. I can only assume he got Iceborne, and then... Who was your favorite class in FF14, Doc? You gonna tell me it's the Gunner? Or the Bard? I'm trying to think of what's the most obscure class that, like, nobody plays? The Dark Knight? I was actually, like, watching some commentary and trying to, like, learn the meta for that game a little bit. There are not that many channels that covered it that I could figure out, but I was having some fun, like, theory crafting the healers. None of those that I mentioned were healers, but I think most of the healers are pretty popular. Like, from what I understand, White Mage was one that people liked the least. Like, Astrologian and the Scholar, I think, were more popular. FF15 looks like okay. I wasn't sure about the combat system. It was all bros. As far as I could tell, right? There's like 3 characters you can get or something. That's what got me, is it's like there just weren't enough characters. It looked like a sausage party. Come on, man. If I'm playing a JRPG, there better be some, you know, hot, pious looking, but yet scantily clad mages or something. Yeah, Red Mage was supposed to be kind of rough. I don't know how, like, ironclad the meta was, though. And it's changed. This was a while ago that I was looking at that. It's like last year, so I know that I'm pretty sure a new expansion came out and all of that. Yeah. I remember they were talking about that, like, mechanic or something. Girl kind of early on that you ran into. She was in the previews. Yeah, I don't know. It just... It's probably better than I thought it was, but I kind of wrote it off. I was like, it just doesn't... These characters just don't seem that compelling or interesting to me. But to be fair, I didn't give it like a super in-depth look. I thought my favorite Final Fantasies were 6 and 7. I'm not sure of those which one I like more, but those are my two favorites. 9, I don't remember a lot of details about 9, but I remember it was underrated and good. Most people just don't ever talk about 8. It's not like 8 was like completely terrible. I don't remember why. I just remember it being like really easy. Like you could just spam your summons and they didn't cost mana or something. You just spent most of the game just watching cutscenes of summons. And I didn't play any. I played FF10 and FF10 Part 2, and that was it. I didn't play 12 or higher. And those were like, okay. 6 is really good. Ooh. Is this guy really good on Kha'Zix? I just really don't like Kha'Zix right now. He doesn't do anything if you don't murder everybody. This guy's pretty good on Kha'Zix, though. We don't have any tanks. I mean, I can engage, but... I never played Kingdom Hearts. I watched a friend play some of it. It looked kind of alright. He's a one-trick Tryndamere. One-trick Vlad. Okay, I guess we'll run it. LeBlanc. I never played Tactics. I'd probably like it. What was there? There was something like that. It was like a grid-based game. Vandal Hearts or something, I think, that was like for PlayStation 1 that was kind of fun. I think that's kind of like what Tactics is. Seven was sweet. They are remaking 7. I might consider playing it on the channel. Only on PC though. I don't have any consoles. We still have my wife and I still have a PlayStation 2. Yeah, I think 6 was just so good, man. It was just a nice setting. Like so many of the characters like had their own little subplots you could go follow up on. They were like really cool and interesting, like plot twists. I think the magic was fairly well balanced. There were lots of there were several like big secrets you could go find. There were some little sub games you could do. I mean, 7 has a lot of that too. It's the aesthetic is just different though. It's kind of like futuristic cyberpunk kind of stuff, especially early on. And then 6 is more of kind of like the classical fantasy type of tropes. I don't know what you're talking about, Zendikar. Xenosaga was sweet. I haven't heard anyone mention that in a long time, but I actually really loved Xenosaga. But that had some cutscenes that were like 30 minutes long or something. Like, you're basically watching a movie. I thought the first one was great. It was like deep philosophical stuff about AI. It had like Nietzschean philosophy in it. I really liked that a lot. I didn't get through the second one. That kind of makes me want to play through it again. There was something weird going on in the second one. I don't remember what it was. That I just like stopped playing it.
I think they underestimate my charm. How is that even possible?
Oh, what? Oh, KH is Kingdom Hearts. Okay, it took me a second. Sorry, I didn't know Zendikar. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about like Kha'Zix or something. Just went right over my head.
I hear the music.
Yeah, I can't remember all the details. I just remember that was one where I was like, man, this story is actually pretty thought-provoking. I remember it was fairly challenging. I don't remember thinking like, oh god, this is like, I'm just abusing the shit out of something in the end game. Maybe I was, I don't know. Or maybe I just didn't know the optimal stuff. But I thought it was pretty cool with Rubito and Albedo and, was it Cosmos? I thought it was fairly interesting. It wasn't like, from what I remember, it wasn't like super open world like FF6 and 7. I really like the full open world. It was like instance, or like not instant, but like zones, sort of like Final Fantasy X kind of. But nevertheless, it was still really cool. I thought it was one of the most thought-provoking. Like, but I was a, you know, a philosophy nerd. But I never played Xenogears. The second one though was, I think there were 3 total. I don't remember what it was with the second one. There was something that was pretty OP that I couldn't figure out how to beat. I don't remember if I was renting it or if I owned it or what, but I just kind of like gave up at a certain point. Because I couldn't beat this one thing, and I think I'd screwed something up in a... And I figured out I'd have to like go back. I don't know. There's something like wonky about it. Yeah, the remake, I might play it on the channel. It's gonna have, I'm gonna have to wait till the PC comes out. It comes out on PC and people just may not care. I might play it in private if people don't want to watch it on the channel. We'll see. I like played Witcher 3 through a lot of Witcher 3 in private because I just didn't think it'd get the views. And I wanted to be able to take my time with it and do all the quests and not have to feel any pressure to try to run through it quickly. Or explain everything when I don't know what's going on. Did we get it? Nice, we did get it. Okay.
I don't need anything right now.
Kha'Zix is around. Eve might also be around. There are no camps down here. How many? She has 20 camps. I didn't see if she started red or blue, though. I don't think she's going to be here. She was just fighting over Scuttle, so presumably she's already taken blue. I think 24 is a full clear, so she probably just backed and is going back to top side. Now, FF7 was 4 discs. It was a long, well, by the standards back then, it was pretty long. I didn't do anywhere near all the secrets, and it was like 60 hours or something. Yeah, I really like FF7. The only reason someone could maybe not like FF7 is if you don't like cyberpunk kind of stuff. It's like a blend of fantasy and cyberpunk. I thought it was very unique, like, type of setting. Because they'd already done 6, you know, like, high fantasy settings. Oh, okay. It's like, Jesus, 14 discs. I mean, I know the discs were, like, rough back then, but they weren't floppy disks. Floppy... How much data is a floppy disk? Is it like 1 kilobyte or something? It's, like, absurdly low amount of data. And there were entire games on, like, a floppy disk. Hey, what's up, Fane? Oh, shit. I should have, I needed to say that for the canon. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy worried about, like, where Leona is. Leona hasn't even attempted 1 engage yet on us. Which I'm okay with that.
I do not
I outscale the hell out of her, so.
I want them to hear the
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, well, at least Leona didn't get the cannon charge. Minor victory.
Don't take a lot of words.
LOL VR. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I mean, maybe. Nice! He's stolen 2 crabs from her. Or she has failed to steal them from him, one way or the other. I guess we'll just get Mercs. This is such an awkward buy.
Time
That way, I
to get it
suppose.
started.
Yeah, I mean, the 100 gold on mobility boots is actually a pretty big deal, because there have been so many times where I either back with 900, like right there, or I back, and I've got brown boots, and I'm about to get 600.
An ally has been slain.
People just never can get VR right. I think I don't know. It's just like disorienting or something for people. I assume there are still games coming out for it.
Why is it taking
It's kind of
so
like the
long
Google
to get
Glass.
back to
People like the
action?
augmented reality stuff. People just aren't into it. Like, I could see maybe wearing something like that for, like a scary game or something, like where you still have a controller, though. You're not up and acting it out and, like, risking, like, running over something in your room, you know? I think that's one of the big things is, I don't know. But, like, if you have a controller, you couldn't look at the controller while you were doing it. And that could potentially be interesting if you had a controller. And you didn't have to move around. Oh, what is VR? Are y'all talking about virtual reality? Or is that a game? I assumed y'all were talking about virtual reality. Oh my god, how the fuck did we lose that? Dude, Leona just like 2v1'd us. What's happening? Like, she just engaged on us. We're both level 6. She's level 5. Sivir's level 5. Sivir blew everything. She must have sat there and eaten all the minion damage or something. I have no clue how we lost that.
An enemy has been slain.
Is she gonna get a kill? That's really unfortunate. Leona's not really overpowered, dude. I beat her like 70% of the time when I'm playing Rakan. I think we just screwed that up. Maybe there's something I could have done differently. Maybe a couple more auto attacks I could have gotten off. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of things can solo kill AD carries. AD carries are weak, but it was not solo. I was sitting there hitting her the whole time. I think we just misplayed it. I mean, I can solo kill some AD carries, depending on what's going on. And AD carries are extremely weak. Right now.
Magic is supposed to be scary. Love is supposed
Most
to
of them.
hurt. Ecstasy needs a little fear.
Wait, what is VR? Oh, it is virtual reality. Okay, I couldn't tell. I thought you were talking about some kind of game.
I don't do.
I was so confused. I just need a keyboard, man. I just can't play games like with controllers. I need a full-on keyboard. I just don't have enough keys to click on a controller. It's just not. I just feel like games are really limited. A lot of them that where I'm not like pressing a lot of
Need
keys.
some fun now.
Okay, she still wants to go in, huh? All right, can we do it this time? Okay. Well, I guess we absorbed a lot of pressure.
Has destroyed an
He,
Gaia says someone has to die, they die. They deserve
I probably shouldn't have typed anything, but... I don't know. I'm really not too
Chronic line step.
well versed on a lot of stuff. Misfortune, you just need to leave that alone, man. Okay, well, hopefully they can... I mean, she's just dead, right?
An ally has been slain.
I guess I'll come up here. I was gonna help secure Dragon, but if they get the Dragon off of this, I'm gonna be pissed. We should not have switched until we had Dragon under control. He should be able to get it. We really shouldn't be in a long lane against Darius. I don't think. Hey! Hi! Ult! The fuck? What am I missing?
An ally has been slain.
What am I missing? Right, she had mana, right? We had vision. What's going on? She just, like, he just used all of his cooldowns on me. I'm trying to figure out, like, what happened. Because she ulted earlier. Like, she leveled it up, right?
Danger is as fun as you let it be.
I mean, there's a green dot. Like, he wasn't even close enough to... I mean, first of all, he grabbed me with his E. Second of all, he wasn't even remotely close to her. Was he afraid she was gonna, like, flash and pull him or something? I gotta stop playing around her. I don't know. She did all right in the laning phase. Like, is she just tilted? I mean, maybe she got tilted out of her mind because I said something to her. I have no clue. I probably should not have said anything to her. Okay, at least Vlad's a baller. Dude, get the tower. What? Okay, well, I got 3 people on me, I guess. I don't think we can do it. I'm gonna put a invisible ward there because they might clear my control ward. Vlad trolled that LB. Yeah, this Vlad's playing real well. I don't know. I thought Misfortune was doing alright in the laning phase. Whatever. Okay, so we need to play around.
Something you have to be serious about.
Probably Vlad and Trent. I'm already kind of committed to Zeke's though, so I've got to finish that. Neo Geo. I remember wanting one of those as a kid. It was expensive as hell. I don't even know if it had. I remember playing some arcade games that were available on Neo Geo. I don't remember what they were, but that was expensive. Wasn't it like a $500, $600 system or something? I always wanted my my mom or grandma to get it for me. But then I don't even know where you would buy it. You would have to have it shipped or something, because I don't even think most normal stores carried it or carried any games for it. I never thought about that, like availability. I just assumed like, oh, I see this in Nintendo Power. It's got to be everywhere, you know? But it's like, it's pretty rare. There's not a lot of support because nobody plays it. I think it was like, did it even have English games? I think it was like Japanese only games or something.
The humans call it battle. It's just a dance. Hello? Anybody there?
Why might be in trouble? Oh, whoa, 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 he's alive? Shit, I maybe could have gotten there in time. I didn't have my shield.
I don't need to understand the plan. I trust my luck.
An enemy has been slain.
They're getting a lot of shutdowns.
Triple kill. Slain an enemy. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, there were a lot of systems back then, like just really weird. Like I guess Neo Geo was out there, and then wasn't it like Saturn? I feel like I didn't know anyone that had Dreamcast, or like I don't even know if I knew anyone that had Sega Saturn. Sega like really. I actually watched a documentary about that, just going down the YouTube rabbit hole one time about how they just screwed up so hard, Sega did, in the 90s. I don't remember. It was just like the management just like completely crapped the bed. I think they had a chance to get the technology for PlayStation 1. Like they basically could have had a Sega that was PlayStation as the brand. But they turned that down. And then they ended up going for the Saturn, basically. So they could have had PlayStation. Instead, they got Saturn. That's what their brand was attached to. And it was just, like, technically inferior. But they wanted to do it as, like, a favor to a friend or something. Or the people who had the PlayStation, like, technology, like, they didn't like them. It was something troll. Like, a troll reason why they didn't invest in it, I feel like. This is why I don't play Leona. If you're behind like that and you go in and stuff just starts going south, like you're just gonna get blown up. I mean, it's easy to say that. Obviously, you're unfavored with any champ, but I just feel like she's just really. That's what I mean by risky. It's like when she goes in like that and it's like, oops, they pressed teleport. I guess I'm dead. You know, or oops, random Rakan runs out of a bush. I guess I'm dead. Whereas, like, with Rakan, I feel like you can get out of quite a few things. Damn, if I would have hit her there, I'm pretty sure it would have killed her. No, we just got to get out of here, man. I don't know. We are applying pressure, which is good, but... Damn, that's 2, like, clutch W's I've missed. Feels bad. Vlad's probably like, can this Rakan get it together? I've saved him a couple of times, but I definitely have missed a couple of clutch games too. Darius can't engage. How is Darius supposed to engage? She has to engage. Darius is just gonna like walk at us. I mean, I guess he can like ghost, but I'm just gonna do the same thing to him. I mean, if you're picking Leona, you're the primary engage most of the time. Damn, I couldn't show fast enough. Why can't I move? The supers.
If it don't get out of control,
Damn,
it ain't
I think I just couldn't walk around the supers. And then they like missed the like a bunch of good titles too. So like they missed the system. I feel like they missed the system twice. I know I'm like 99% sure they had a chance to get PlayStation, and I think they might have even had a chance to get N64. Like the technology that became those systems. I think they lost both of those, and they lost a lot of titles. Vlad really did do a good job. I mean, it's one of the better Vlad players I've seen in a while. Yeah, I mean, hold on. I just want to look this up now that I've mentioned it. Now that it's basically a publisher, I just want to hear the mainstream success. I think the big thing that made him a mainstream success, what I saw from this documentary, was that Sonic the Hedgehog, it was supposed to be the bad boy system, like the rebel system. They were going for the edge card. They're like, oh, Sonic's an edgier Mario, you know? And it was like a lot of their marketing was like, you know, be the rebel, be different. I don't remember the exact slogans, but like that kind of thing. And it had a really good market there for a little bit. And it was like, there was one dude, I think, that just like screwed everything up. I don't remember. I think there was an American guy that was telling them, hey, you need to like do this. You need to get the PlayStation. It sounds good. And like the Japanese people weren't buying it. They didn't like the guy or something. I don't know. This is kind of a wall of text. Okay, yeah, so what was it, Kolinsky? Kolinsky estimated Sega could have sold so much more. Yeah, I think Kolinsky was their guy, their North American guy. That was trying to tell them what to, like, hey, this is it, but they just, like, would not listen to him. Sony PlayStation, Virtua Fighter... I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'm pretty sure they lost that, though, right? Or something. This may not have it, like the whole thing. It was a pretty fascinating, I'll go put us back in queue. It was a pretty fascinating, little documentary, though. Atari Jaguar, is that a system? I totally forgot about that. I'm pretty sure they could have had PlayStation now. So yeah, this guy Stoller, I think got fired for like screwing it up, but it was like too late to come back. I don't know. It was a fun documentary, but it's not as much fun like trying to read a novel here to figure it out. I was hoping they would yeah, I think game developers, it was something like the technology didn't really, like, game developers hated this, like, the Sega technology on, like, Dreamcast and stuff. It was something like it was just hard as hell to, like, program or something, and that's why almost everybody went with PlayStation, because it was like, I mean, I'm not a coder, obviously, but it was just so much easier to work with. You could do so much more, and you could produce, like, higher quality games at a much lower cost with the software architecture of PlayStation. It was this video, I think, What Ruined Sega, The Fall of an Empire. It's like 26 minutes long, though, so we're not going to watch the whole thing, obviously, but it was pretty cool. That's probably my top 3 too, but to be fair, I haven't played on a console beyond PS2. I thought N64 was kind of a flop. I mean, it had some alright games, and so same thing with GameCube. It's like the SNES was kind of the peak Nintendo for me, but Nintendo isn't trying to cater to me, you know what I mean? Like, they just decided that's their niche in the market. They don't want to compete, or they want to compete less with PlayStation and Microsoft. So they just, you know, decided to go for like more kid, you know, action adventure type of games and stuff like that in a lot of cases. I think. I mean, there's probably some decent adult stuff in there, but it's just kind of like the casual, casual vibe is what I got from it. Pretty good on Casio. Is that autofilled? The Zaya. Does that dude play jungle? He's kind of YOLO and Graves in the jungle. I probably should have dodged this one, but maybe not. I was just too old. I mean, the N64 had the original Smash Brothers, which was fun. I owned an N64. I just didn't like get many games for it. It had the original Smash Brothers. It had GoldenEye, which was a lot of fun at the time. That might have been about it as far as what I played on it. I think I ended up getting GameCube also, and I played like the Resident Evil that came out on it, and there was a game like Eternal Darkness that was so like a couple of scary games. So that was about it. I had like 2 or 3 games for the system. It was a waste of time.
That's the opposite of a plan.
PlayStation 2 is just great. I'm sure the Marios are probably good. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't play. At that point, like from 2000 on, I was basically just playing mostly competitive games if I played anything.
30 seconds until
I wasn't playing
spawn.
single player or multiplayer games. most of which were competitive. Like, I was already, since like the late 90s, I was playing StarCraft all the time. And then Warcraft 3 when that came out in like 2003. Pretty much always StarCraft and Warcraft. And then a little bit of WoW when that came out. And then StarCraft 2 and then League of Legends. And like very few single player games in between that. I think it was Eternal Darkness. It was the one where you're like in this mansion and like you were kind of going crazy and there were like all these like illusions and weird stuff going on in it. Yeah, it was basically all PC. What was the last console game I bought? I don't know, something on PS2 probably. Maybe FFX2. That's probably it. That's the last one I can remember. That was like 2001, maybe.
Zaya, I think we got a problem.
Thanks.
We got a problem?
This is another like pretty much first time Zaya. Probably should have dodged. But I did say that about one of the games earlier that we ended up winning, so we might be able to win. I mean, Fiora's gonna beat Ilaoi eventually. Shaco versus Graves is kind of a wild card. I don't know about that. Shaco's like very, very skill dependent.
Thank you, honey.
You forgot the part.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen his cake?
Back on my own.
That's it. I'll find you.
Well, we're separated.
You're already wandering off.
No, I'm not. Only a little.
So I got a bit of a cold or sinus or something. Hopefully not corona. I've had it for a little bit though, so.
I wouldn't guess.
Time to find a new friend.
I swear, you will be the doctor.
I'm low on mana. I don't know if I have enough.
You have slain an enemy.
I've never heard that line on Rakan. He has so many voice lines. I've never heard that where he's like, yeah, sorry about that. They're mostly physical. Is he okay? He's going. I'm gonna get Tabby's in because he's got Hail of Blades, which means he's going auto attacks. It's not going AP. I don't think.
Long ago,
I guess he could. It'd be weird though.
Flames. Now only the embers.
So it's really just Vel'Koz. Which Vel'Koz probably pop off and go 5-0, but which ADC? The ADC right here. We're getting a lot of streamers. Did you tell them about my channel?
What is it?
I'm not gonna tell you. That's a really cunning video.
I kind of do miss JRPGs. Oh, he showed up invisible with Yuumi. Okay. Yeah, that's obnoxious. Okay, good. Fiora's putting in work. Pretty much lights out, probably, if we just don't feed bottom lane. Here's the party.
Thanks.
For what?
Not saying I told you so.
Witcher 3 was great. That's the first time I'd played a single-player game in a very long time. I got Witcher 3 because the Netflix series was coming out.
Shoes.
Like a lot of people, I think. Wow, she still had flash? Okay, well, I guess we got it. I thought she flashed in all that nonsense earlier. Okay. That's worth. If you're the engager and you get the flash off of someone who doesn't have much mobility, it puts so much more pressure on them. Because I can probably still get away without flash in most situations. She cannot. So.
Hey, Zaya.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Can we do this? Yeah, we should be able to do it. Jayco's. I mean, he might show up at the very end of this. I need to try to zone him if he does. You don't want it. Yeah, we had priority bot. Oh, we might as well. I think when I looked, Cassiopeia she was at least even in her lane, if not outright priority. Vel'Koz is behind too, because he's roamed down here a few times.
Shut down.
Ooh, that's not good. Got a little big for her britches there. Kind of a weird back timing, but I'm like low on mana, so.
I am definitely dangerous.
Did I just greed out? I mean, I don't have a control ward, but they also don't have any wards up because Yuumi hasn't left to go ward, so. Well, sort of, John, but I mean, there's just so much unknown about it. What is known is that it does spread, like, quickly to a lot of people.
I just like that sound.
And that people don't really have a great natural immunity to it. The fatality rate and all that stuff, it's very unknown. So, you know, at first I kind of brushed it off, like, oh, not a big deal, but it could be. I do think, you know, people are probably overreacting. But at the same time, I think a lot of people have the mentality, well, I'd rather overreact and not die than underreact and die.
How can humans not hear the magic?
Okay, we need to push one more, and then I can go get wards. Wait, what? Oh, rocket, probably. I should have switched to sweeper. I wasn't paying attention.
It's gonna be okay.
We can do this.
Hey.
So he was already there. God, we're all gonna fall apart here. This is a freaking disaster.
Has been slain.
Holy crap. How did the Shaco even get there? He was sitting in our tri-bush or something? Maybe he can't, like, he was already in our jungle counter-jungling us or something? That was so weird.
If you weren't a little frightened, you ain't alive.
And Graves just got run down and caught. I guess I shouldn't have gone back in. My W was... I needed just a little bit more on the W, and I could have W'd and maybe gotten the Jinx.
I am a chronic line stepper.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
If you look at things the right way, it's all
Turret plating will soon fall.
What's after this?
Another road?
Good.
We're not gonna fight this? Where the... Damn it, Cassiopeia back? Wait, when did I ult?
You are stunning. Yes, I definitely talked about you.
Oh, that was not even close. What? Yeah, that was weird. Let's go for Frozen Heart here.
I'm offended by how little attention I was given.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I mean, maybe not. What? I don't even know. Let's just get some control words. Probably just want to do Zeeks. I mean, they are almost all AD. I can think about it. Shaco is getting pretty big. Lowering that attack speed
We must keep moving.
would be nice. I am the primary engage, so I'm going to be getting hit by stuff.
enemy has been slain. Enemy rampage.
That W should slow push it. Yeah, Zaya was going to be too late. She's never going to be on time for that.
Every road leads someplace.
Okay.
Rakan.
Alright, and we do have a little bit of a slow push because I W'd. So we're building up that stack. Alright, Zaya with that double kill, we'll go ahead and hook her up. She really needed that.
What would you do?
Fiora should be able to 1v1 the Alawi at this point pretty hard.
Ground and build a castle from the ashes.
Damn, I should have gotten that cannon. Should be looking at something else.
Because I'm beautiful.
She's gonna clear my control ward anyway, so. Damn it, they got Rift. Shouldn't happen when we have that much pressure.
Coming up.
Get that squirrel.
Double kill.
It's a cat. I was like saying, get that squirrel. Who the hell? Wait, how does he have TP? What am I missing? Was that Alawi's TP?
You're gonna marry me today. I always do.
Hey, I'm trying to win, Jordan. Like, that's the #1 goal, man. I don't play him every day. I played Yuumi like 3 or 4 times yesterday.
What we have is greater than
Like, my #1 goal is to win. Until I get to Diamond.
Be right back.
When I can get on the Smurf more, when I get the Smurf leveled up, I can play other stuff that's not as good. I should have eat out of there faster. No, he doesn't have Spellbook. It was just Vel'Koz walked up at the exact same time that Alawi TP'd in, I think is what happened.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Dude, I'm like the number 70 Rakan in North America or something like that. He's extremely good. I mean, he's the highest pick rate. Maybe not highest pick rate, but I'm pretty sure he's one of the highest, if not the highest win rate in pro right now. and he's just extremely good. Like, if you're like practiced on him, I mean, he's probably top 3 hardest support to play optimally. So it's not like if someone just started the game yesterday, I would tell them to, you know, you got to play Rakan.
You notice the sky?
It's lovely.
Not as beautiful as you.
But I think he's really, really good. Lowie's fine. Like, she's got to have something. She's pretty much all ult. She's fine. I just misplayed that. I stayed too long.
I never walk into a trap.
Limitless.
Jesus. Fiora's getting a lot of pressure bot side, which is nice.
Hey, I'm not gonna kill you. Shit, say hi, honey.
I mean, I know people like variety. I like variety too, but, you know, as I always say, it's like a split thing. Like, people want me to be a higher rank. People also want me to play variety, and I can't do both of those if I'm near my max rank. I'm just not good enough to do that. Like, I can't play a different champ every game and get to diamond right now. Oh, Cassio, please. That's gonna give him Baron, probably.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I need control wards more than anything else.
I've been kicked around since I was born. It's all right. It's okay. I'm staying alive.
Huh.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And you want to play Thresh. I mean, if I was way better on Thresh, then yeah, like, Thresh can be really good.
Has destroyed.
And we didn't get any gold for that mid tower, I don't think,
I
though.
feel good.
Did I tell you I love you?
Yes. That's
Actually, blue.
I love you.
I can't believe he didn't see me walking up. Right? I thought I just walked right in front of him. Maybe it wasn't quite in vision. I mean, we could just do Baron also. We can at least get vision all around it.
Zaya? I think we got a problem.
think or no?
No, we got a problem?
Yeah, a little dangerous with Elkaz. Shaco here? I don't see Shaco. They're gonna get all kinds of kills, I think. Potentially. Oof. Damn, I should have flashed that.
Your team has destroyed.
No, 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 don't walk up, Cassio. Oh, damn, she might just win right here. I don't think she's gonna full on win, but Fiora melts towers right now. I don't know. I don't think there is really a bad matchup for Rakan. I mean, the ones that are bad matchups are like obscure champs that people just don't play that often. Like, Morgana's annoying, Poppy's annoying. Vagar's annoying. But even what people think are good matchups, like Leona Nautilus, I just crush those matchups.
If I vanished, what would you do?
I would never be whole again.
I don't think I mean, Alistar's like okay, I guess, but like against Rakan, but not really that great. The hardest stuff is actually the stuff that outscales. So like the Nami in theory can be tricky. Janna can be tricky.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, I hate having to have a plan.
I mean, maybe that's not for like every Rakan possible, but that's like my experience with it. And I think he is, like, if you learn him, he can be extremely good on. Other people can be really good on him too, but I don't think Lux hard counters Rakan. Dude, can you quit goofing around, Cass, and just kill her? So that we can get this tower? Like, she's just stalling for tower. Everyone always has to be, like, the super villain. Right? Like, you just toy with your food, and then they end up coming back. Like, we haven't won this yet. Like, it's looking good right now, but, like, we just lost the Baron, but we could have had this tower if Cass wasn't goofing around. Like, we're probably gonna win, but... you know, probably it's not a win until the game's over. Like, I'm not going to yell at him or be, like, super bad, but it's like, I've definitely lost games like this. So I'm sure most of you have, where someone just, like, screws around, doesn't end the game. I don't know. I lose to Soraka, but Soraka's been nerfed a lot. Historically, I have lost against Soraka. Like, here, I'll show you guys, like, what my win rates are as of u.gg. I can update it, and we'll see. Yeah, I'll check him out too. What is his? Crafty Brit. Okay. We can holler at him. I'll drop him a follow. Or a like or whatever. I don't even know. I haven't used Twitch in so long.
Bubble.
I gotta mute it. But, okay, we'll drop him a holler. Yeah, so if y'all want to hop over to Crafty Brit, just drop him a hey or something. Said he was a friendly guy. Played Xayah for us, did well. Even though I don't... so many people, like, don't play that much Xayah, but... and she's pretty hard to play. Hey, thanks, Arthur. What are we at? Like 3.5 hours. Or almost 4 hours. Oh, I was gonna show you guys. I think that might be it for me for tonight. I know it's kind of an early night, but I didn't get a ton of sleep. 4 hours, and that's, I mean, we've won a lot. Well, we went 3 or 4 and 1, 3 and 1. But I'll look really quick here, and then we'll be back in here tomorrow. Let me update. I don't know if it's the same as Porofessor. Porofessor tells you some numbers too, so I don't know if both of them are all season or not. Yeah, that's not all season. That's just the last 30 days. But the last 30 days, I've like a 90% against Leona. I think U.GG is all season. So yeah, all season I've got 70% against Leona, 71 Thresh, 64 Nautilus, 64 Lulu, 55 Blitz. So a lot of the stuff that people think counters Rakan, at least for me, doesn't. So yeah, the Soraka matchup was kind of bad. I think after the nerfs, it's different. But yeah, just stuff that the enchanters that outscale you are kind of difficult. Bard's not a great matchup. Zona's not a great matchup historically. But a lot of these are kind of relatively small sample size, too. Once again, that's not for everybody, but that's my experience with them. Well, it's not that simple, Jesus. In fact, I end up R-ing and then E-ing and then W more often. Like, there are several choices. He's not, like, super mechanically challenging, but there are a lot of different options in positioning. Can be tricky. Yeah, I do have a good win rate against Morg. It's out of 6 games. Who is it? Lux? I've got a 100% win rate against Lux. I've only played against her 3 times, though. I think there are too many AD champions out there right now for Morg to be that great. And she's been nerfed several times, but... Anyways, okay. Well, that's going to be it. Thank y'all very much for coming in. We'll be back tomorrow around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see if we can make a run at D4 again. Hold on one second. All right, we'll make a run at D4 again tomorrow. What are we at, like 71 or something LP? Jeez, Merc Show's mad, man. But, yeah, we'll get back at it tomorrow, so... Thank you very much. I will also probably release an all tier list tomorrow, so like a tier list for all roles. I'll preview it here, and I'll explain. I think this is what I'm going to go with. I might think about it a little bit more, but support, Rakan, Nami, Yuumi, Nautilus, Blitzcrank. I knocked Sona down and replaced with Blitzcrank since I did the support tier list a couple of days ago. I just haven't seen a lot of Sona. She doesn't seem as strong. Blitz, you know, does have a good matchup into lots of popular things right now. ADC, Senna, Cassio, Aphelios, Misfortune, Callista, Mid, Cassidon, Diana, Echo, Zoe, Katarina. So this just kind of shuffled around a little bit from last time. Who did I kick out of Mid from last time? I can't remember. But I added Zoe in there. Oh, Kiana. I just think you really need an AP right now Mid because there's like so many of the top laners and junglers are still AD champions, and it just like messes up your vibe. And those nerfs to like the changes to Kiana and just the meta, like the Moby Boots nerf, that kind of stuff has kind of pulled her out a little bit. And then Master Yi, Zac, Olaf, Elise, Nunu. I took Lee Sin out of there. He's not as great against tanks. I don't think he just kind of gets outscaled more. Then I added Olaf in, who I just think he has a better mid game than Lee does, but and then top lane Darius, Ornn, Kled, Garen, Set. I added Garen in there, and I think I took Singed out. But anyways, okay, that's gonna be it. Thank y'all very much. We'll be back tomorrow. Check out the rest of the content, and we'll see everybody next time.